Every morning, you open a portal. Not a door of wood or stone, but a glowing rectangle in your hand. A screen, a feed, a headline. You think you're consuming it, but it is consuming you. Through that portal, something reaches out. Not for your money, not for your possessions, for something far more valuable, your attention. They farm it like a crop. Fear, envy, outrage, jealousy. They harvest the energy, sell it, and then feed it back to you in a new form. You call it news. You call it entertainment. But it's not. It's fuel extraction. And the worst part, you give it away freely. You pay with your focus. And in return, they sell you back a version of reality designed to keep you weak, distracted, and tired. But what if I told you that today you could place a shield over your mind, that you could seal the leak, that you could stop bleeding power into a system that was never designed for your freedom? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I will hand you the simplest attention shield you've never been taught. Once you feel how fast your focus creates, you will never lend it to anyone you did not choose again. Every time you scroll, every time you click, every time you stare longer than a breath, you are planting a seed in the soil of the unseen. And what grows from that? Not just statistics, energy. Your fear becomes their headline, your envy becomes their product, your outrage becomes their profit. It is not an accident that the most divisive stories are the ones that rise to the top. Division feeds the machine. Conflict oils the gears, and you, without realizing, become the farmer of your own prison. Think about it. Why does negativity spread faster than truth? Why does anger go viral when love barely whispers? Because what you feel is harvested. Fear contracts your power. Love expands it. And those who design the feed know this law better than you do. They don't need to chain you. They don't need to silence you. All they need is for you to hand over your focus, one swipe at a time. And in that silent trade, your imagination, the most sacred gift of creation, gets hijacked, redirected, weaponized against you. But here's the secret. The harvest only works if you forget who the farmer really is. It isn't them. It's you. You plant the seed. You water it with attention. You decide the crop. And when you wake up to that truth, the harvest becomes yours again. They don't come with guns. They don't march with chains. The weapons are quieter, sharper, more precise. Fear, doubt, distraction, desire. Fear shrinks your world. It makes you see less, hope less, believe less. Doubt makes you hesitate. It makes you second. Guess your own divine signal. Distraction scatters your focus until you can't remember what matters, and desire. Not the pure desire of the soul, but the endless craving they sell you. One more object, one more status, one more mask to wear. Each weapon works the same way. It dissolves your certainty. It loosens your grip on who you are. And in that chaos, they present their solution. Packaged, polished, pre-approved, a product to buy. A story to hate, a savior to wait for, and you accept it because your inner ground has been shaken. This is not theory. This is not philosophy. This is mechanics. The alchemists called it solve et coagula, dissolve and coagulate. First, they dissolve your peace. Then they solidify their program inside you. Repeat this process 1,000 times, and you wake up in a life you never chose. But listen carefully. No weapon can pierce a shield that has been consciously raised. The moment you remember that your focus is not free, the heist begins. The moment you stop reacting and start choosing, the weapons turn blunt in their hands. And today, I'll show you how to raise that shield. Not tomorrow. Not someday right here, before the next headline pulls you under. What if I told you the shield was never outside of you? It's not an app. It's not a lock on your phone. It's not a wall you build around your house. The shield is your awareness. Your attention, turned inward, becomes armor. Think of it like this. Every thought that enters your mind is knocking on a door. Some thoughts carry peace, clarity, creativity. Others carry fear, noise, poison. But you are the doorkeeper. The shield is your choice to ask, does this serve me? Before you let it in, this is the law. What you give attention to expands. What you starve of attention fades. And the shield is simply this: the discipline of deciding where your gaze rests, where your emotion flows, where your energy lands. When you scroll unconsciously, you hand the keys of your imagination to strangers. When you focus consciously, you reclaim the throne. And here's the forgotten truth. Your imagination is not a playground. It's the control panel of reality. Every image you hold, every feeling you nurture, is a command issued to the field of creation. So the shield is not about hiding. It's about guarding the most valuable power you own, the ability to choose what worlds you create inside, before they solidify outside. In a moment, I'll give you the practice. The simple ritual that seals your attention before it leaks. But first, you must grasp this. You are not weak for being distracted. You are powerful enough that entire systems were designed to distract you. And once you know that, your focus becomes unstoppable. Close your eyes for a moment. And imagine this: you are sitting in the center of a room. Around you there are countless doors. Each door has a word carved above it: fear, doubt, anger, desire, peace, love, creativity. Every second of your day, these doors swing open and closed. And whichever door you step through, that becomes your world. The ritual is simple. Before the day begins, before the portals of noise are opened, you pause one breath in, one breath out. Then you ask yourself, which door will I choose today? This is not a metaphor. This is programming. When you breathe slowly and place your attention on a chosen feeling, gratitude, strength, clarity, you are sealing your focus. You are coding your reality. Here's the step. By step, sit still for 60 seconds. No distractions, just you. Breathe in deeply, breathe out slowly. Let the noise drain. Choose a state. Say it softly inside. Today I walk through the door of peace. Or, today I walk through the door of strength. Feel it, not as a wish, but as a fact already alive in your body. Let it fill your chest, your breath, your eyes. Hold it for 30 seconds. This seals the door. This is the shield. And when you open your phone, when you face the world, you do not walk through every door they push in front of you. You already chose, and because you chose, your focus cannot be stolen. It can only be multiplied. This ritual may seem small, but small hinges swing great doors, and 1 minute of conscious sealing in the morning can protect hours of your day from being hijacked. The moment you seal your attention, something begins to shift. At first, headlines don't sting the same. Scrolling loses its grip. The noise feels like background static instead of a command. Then it grows louder. The illusion begins to crack. You notice the patterns, the way fear is recycled, the way outrage is recycled, the way stories repeat like broken records, and for the first time, you stand outside of it, watching. This is the collapse of illusion. The spell only worked because you were inside it, reacting without pause. But once you choose your state, once you seal your focus, the spell dissolves. You stop being the puppet, and you remember you were always the puppeteer. And here is the part that feels like magic. The world itself begins to respond. The people you meet, the opportunities that appear, the conversations you stumble into. All of it starts to reorganize around the state you chose. Because attention is not passive, it is the architect. When you live sealed in fear, life gives you reasons to stay. When you live sealed in peace, life bends to confirm it. The field does not argue, it does not resist. It reflects. And once you experience this reflection even once, you realize the truth they tried to erase. The power was never out there. It was always in here. So the question is no longer, why are they doing this to me? The real question is, what am I choosing to feed with my attention? Because when you stop feeding the illusion, it has no choice but to starve. You've been told money is wealth, that gold, oil, land, or power make an empire. But that was never the deepest truth. The real currency of the universe is emotion. Think of it. Every decision you've ever made, big or small, was driven by feeling, not logic, not numbers feeling. You bought something, not because of its material. You chase relationships, jobs, dreams, not for the object itself, but for the emotion behind it. And the system knows this. That is why they don't just sell you products. They sell you feelings. They take your natural emotions, harvest them, package them, and feed them back as a commodity. Fear becomes ratings. Envy becomes advertising. Outrage becomes votes. But here's the truth I hope you never remember. Your emotions are not random. They are the paintbrush of creation. Every strong emotion you sustain is a vibrational order to the field of reality. Fear calls in shadows. Gratitude calls in abundance. Peace calls in harmony. When you feel, you are broadcasting. And when enough people broadcast the same signal, the world tilts. That's why they keep you locked in the same emotional loops. Because if you ever discovered that your feelings were the engine of creation, you would stop being a pawn and start being a creator. So understand this. Guarding your attention is step 1. Guarding your emotion is step 2. Together, they form the treasury of your soul, the wealth that cannot be stolen unless you hand it over. Imagine a vast field, not of crops, but of people. Millions, billions, all standing with their heads bowed toward glowing screens, and above the field, an invisible machine, humming, harvesting every spark of emotion they release. This is the farm, and every time you react in anger, every time you scroll in envy, every time you drown in fear, the harvest grows. You are not only feeding the system, you are building the cage around yourself. But here's the secret no one told you. The farm collapses the moment you stop feeding it, because it cannot harvest what you do not give. The moment you pause before reacting, the moment you choose stillness instead of outrage, the moment you breathe through fear instead of bowing to it, you break the cycle, You unplug the machine, and when enough of us do this, the farm doesn't just weaken, it starves. Imagine millions of people refusing to give away their emotions like free fuel. Imagine a world where attention is conscious, emotion is sovereign, and imagination is no longer stolen but directed. That world is not a dream. It is a decision to stop being the crop and remember you were always the farmer. When you choose what to plant, gratitude, peace, clarity, the field reorganizes. Your life stops echoing the noise of manipulation and begins reflecting the signal of creation. This is how you break the farm. Not by fighting it, not by hating it, but and in starving it, you reclaim yourself. Life is not a random storm. It is a mirror. Every person you meet, every challenge you face, every blessing you stumble into, all of it is a reflection of the signal you broadcast. When you carry fear, the mirror shows you danger. When you carry doubt, the mirror shows you obstacles. When you carry peace, the mirror bends to give you harmony. The mirror does not argue. It does not choose sides. It only reflects. This is why attention is everything. The moment you give your focus to fear, the mirror sharpens it and hands it back. The moment you feed gratitude, the mirror multiplies it and returns it in ways you could not plan. Most people stand in front of the mirror and try to fix the reflection. They fight the world, blame the world, curse the world. Without realizing the mirror is only showing them what they project. But here's the shift. When you change what you carry inside, the reflection must obey. It has no choice. The law is absolute. As within, so without. So look closely at your world, your relationships, your health, your money, your peace. Every part of it is a mirror. If you don't like the image you see, stop polishing the glass, change, and the mirror will follow. This is the simplest, most powerful truth they never wanted you to know. You are not trapped by the reflection. You are the face that shapes it. Anyone can focus for a moment. Anyone can seal their attention for a breath or two. But the secret to bending reality is not in a single spark. It's in the fire that never goes out. Faithfulness. Faithfulness is not grinding effort. It is not forcing yourself to believe when you don't. It is loyalty. The same loyalty a lover has for the same devotion a mother has for her child. When you choose a state, peace, abundance, strength, you must return to it again and again, no matter what the mirror shows. When fear knocks, you do not argue. When doubt whispers, you do not fight. You simply return. You slip back into the arms of your chosen state like a home you never abandon. This is where most people fail. They treat imagination like a wish, not a covenant. They flirt with peace but stay married to fear. They visit gratitude but remain faithful to lack. And then they wonder why the mirror does not change. But when you stay loyal, when you remain faithful, reality bends. Slowly at first. Then suddenly, all at once. The people around you shift. Doors open that once were sealed. Coincidences pile until they no longer look like chance. Faithfulness is the silent ingredient of creation. Not noise, not force. Quiet, steady loyalty to the vision you have chosen. And here is the gift. Once you prove faithful to your chosen state, life proves faithful to you. Time is the greatest illusion. You are taught that what you want lives in the future. That one day, when conditions are right, when years have passed, when enough has been done, then your desire will arrive. But faithfulness destroys that illusion, because the moment you choose a state and remain loyal to it, you collapse the distance between someday and now. You stop waiting for reality to confirm your vision. You let the vision be real inside you first, and then time has no choice but to rearrange around it. Think about it. Every future event you anticipate already lives in your imagination. You feel the trip before you take it. You see the success before it comes. You fear the loss before it happens. All of it exists here, in your mind. Now the future is not waiting for. When you step into faithfulness, when you hold gratitude, peace, or abundance as if it is already true, you bring the future rushing into the present. You erase the gap, and what once felt far away begins to echo back through your days in signs, symbols, and synchronicities. This is why the masters never begged for tomorrow. They lived as though the prayer was already answered, the gift already given. And reality, obedient as a shadow, followed their lead. So when you stop placing your desire in the future and begin embodying it now, you collapse time, you end waiting. You begin living. It's another to live it in the middle of your day, when the noise calls, when the world pulls, when distractions press in from every angle. So, let's make it real. Picture yourself tomorrow morning. You wake up, and before you touch your phone, before the portals open, you sit for 1 minute. You breathe. You choose your door. Peace, gratitude, strength. You let it sink into your chest, like sunlight warming your skin. That's the seal. Now the day begins. The headlines shout. A message arrives that stirs anger. A post triggers envy. This is where most people hand their energy away. But not you, because you've sealed your attention. Instead of reacting, you pause. One slow breath. You remember, I already chose my state. The mirror is tempting you to step into chaos, but you stand faithful to the door you sealed. And just like that, the weapon becomes powerless. Throughout the day, you return to your seal. In the car, at work. At lunch, a thought pulls you into fear. A headline screams disaster. You return. Someone provokes you. You return. Again and again, until faithfulness becomes natural. By the evening, you feel different. Lighter, clearer. And the world has shifted around you. A call comes through with good news. A problem dissolves easier than expected. They are reflections, proof that the shield works. This is the power of living sealed. Not just once, not just in meditation, but moment by moment, door by door, until the farm cannot touch you anymore. Do you really think it's an accident that distraction feels endless? That the moment you silence one notification, another one takes its place? That the feed never ends, the noise never stops, the urgency never sleeps? It isn't random, it's designed. Behind the screens, behind the headlines, behind the entertainment factories, there are architects of distraction. They don't need to know your name. They don't need to sit in your living room. All they need is your attention. If they can direct that, they can direct your reality. And the tools are simple. Flash, fear, comparison. They don't need to chain your body. They only need to occupy your mind, because a distracted mind never remembers its own power. But here is the truth they don't want you to hear. Distraction is powerless without your permission. They can flash the lights. They can sound the alarms. But only you decide whether to give them your gaze. This is why the shield matters. Once you've sealed your attention, once you've chosen your door, the architects lose their grip. Their designs collapse in your presence. Because no matter what they build, they cannot harvest what you refuse to hand over. And when one human remembers this, it is powerful. But when thousands remember it, when millions seal their attention, the entire machine trembles. Because it cannot function without your energy. This is why your awakening is dangerous. Not to you, but to them, because the moment you reclaim your focus, their empire of distraction begins to fall. Sovereignty. A word they rarely teach you because a sovereign human cannot be controlled. To be sovereign is not about power over others. It is not about thrones or crowns. It is about mastery over the one kingdom that was always yours. Your mind, your emotion, your attention. The moment you seal your focus, you reclaim this kingdom. You stop being a citizen of distraction and return to being the ruler of your inner world. And when you rule within, the outer must obey. Think about it. Who profits when you feel small? Who benefits when you believe you are powerless? Entire industries depend on your insecurity. Entire systems depend on, but when you remember sovereignty, those chains break instantly. Because the sovereign does not beg. The sovereign does not wait for permission. The sovereign does not look outward for salvation. The sovereign creates, directs, decides. This is why they keep you distracted, because they fear your return to sovereignty. They know that one sovereign being radiates more power than thousands, still trapped in the farm. And here is the truth. Sovereignty is not something you earn. It is something you remember. It has always been yours, buried under noise, hidden by fear, covered by doubt, but never destroyed. When you raise your shield, when you hold your faithfulness, when you collapse time, you do not just defend yourself, you reclaim your throne. You step back into the role you were born for. The sovereign creator of your reality. Once sovereignty is remembered, something extraordinary happens. The field, the invisible web of life that surrounds you, begins to move. Not slowly, not vaguely, but with precision. People show up at the right time. Opportunities open like doors that were always there, but hidden. Problems soften, dissolve, or rearrange them. The field is not judging you. It is echoing you. Every state you choose faithfully becomes a magnet. Peace pulls harmony. Gratitude pulls abundance. Strength pulls opportunities. The field has no choice. It reflects the vibration you broadcast. And once you taste this alignment, even once, you can never go back, because you realize the field has always been listening, always ready, always saying yes. It was waiting only for you to command. The world itself has not changed. The news still shouts, the feeds still flash, the distractions still exist. But you are no longer a lens that filters out fear, that ignores manipulation, that refuses to hand over energy. You see clearly. You know when something is bait. You know when emotion is being farmed. And because you know, you do not react. Instead, you respond calmly, consciously, powerfully. The sovereign does not chase, the sovereign directs reality. And through this new lens, Even challenges become clay in your hands. Problems become raw material. Every event is simply another opportunity to exercise creation. Do not underestimate the ripple. When one person reclaims attention, it spreads. Family notices, friends notice, strangers notice. They don't always understand why, but they feel it. Your calm becomes contagious. Your focus becomes magnetic. Your sovereignty reminds others of their own. This is how systems collapse. Not through rebellion, but through awakening. Not through fighting, but through remembering. One spark lights another, until the fire cannot be contained. When you live sealed, faithful, sovereign, you don't just change yourself. You become a catalyst. You show others what it looks like to stop being the crop and start being the farmer. The final illusion is this, that you are separate. Separate from others, separate from creation, separate from the source. But separation is the grandest trick of all. Every person you meet is a mirror of you. Every scene in your life is a reflection of your state. Every so-called other is a version of the same consciousness wearing a different mask. When you grasp this, judgment fades, blame fades, fear fades, because you understand, I am not against the world. I am the world. And what I see is what I am choosing, whether consciously or unconsciously. The illusion of separation dissolves, and in its place, unity, oneness, power. Two paths. One, return to the farm. Keep scrolling, keep reacting, keep handing over the most valuable currency in the universe. Your attention, your emotion, your imagination. It will build cages, it will keep you small. It will drain the spark from your soul until you forget this message ever touched you. Or two, choose sovereignty. Choose the shield. Choose to seal your attention, to be faithful to your vision, to collapse time, to command the field. This path will not make you comfortable, but it will make you free. No one can choose for you. No system can force you. This decision is yours alone, and it will echo through every part of your life. So here's the invitation. Act tomorrow morning. Before you open a single portal, sit still, breathe. Seal your attention, choose your door, and remain faithful. That one act will begin to rewrite your world. And if this message struck something deep within you, if you felt the truth vibrating in your chest, don't keep it silent. Speak it. Write in the comments below, I am sovereign. Let it be your first act of creation. Let the world know you remember. This channel exists to awaken those who are ready. If you want to help spread this light, share this video, show it to the ones you love, the ones who are still asleep, the ones who are searching. You may be the spark that sets their soul on fire. And when you are ready to go even deeper, don't stop here. Another video is waiting for you right now, one that builds on everything we've uncovered and hands you the next key. Click it, step forward, continue the path. Because this is only the beginning. You are not the crop. You are not the pawn. You are the sovereign creator.